Oh, yeah. We are back at it. Back at it. No, today we're going to talk about change. Change and the fear of change. What keeps us stagnant? What keeps us just from making that move that we need to make? We're going to give our guests time again. Just getting started. Those of you who are here, we're back at it. I just had a quick talk on the universe. Subject that we're going to talk about today is change and fear of change. Why we as people stay stagnant when we really should. The excuses that we give ourselves, the things that we should tell ourselves, the constantly talk ourselves are doing what we need to just do. Things that we need to do, just live life, just enjoy life. And we get so caught up. We'll wait till our guests get in here. We're going to have a nice long conversation tonight. That's something that I really need to discuss.
Oh gosh. Him talking to you?
Hopefully, get some more guests in today. I got a few people already said they should be here.
He usually already in here.
Exactly. So I'm like, usually we already responded to my message too. She hasn't.
I'll just try. Hello, hello. Hello.
So we're gonna wait till we get some of our guests up in here. We got a couple of people that's gonna be joining us today. Until our guests start getting here, I want to thank those who was in chat already. Those who thanks for stopping in. The subject today is going to be change and the fear of change, and what keeps us stagnant. What keep us from making the moves that we know that we need to make, whether it's emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. Like, you got a piece of shit job that you hate. Why you still at that piece of shit job that you hate? That's something to ask people all the time. You know what I'm saying? That people that all the time. A lot of people be like, man, everybody just can't afford to just up and quit and go work somewhere else. I'm like, yeah, you can though. Yes, you can. Like, if you can think for yourself, you believe in yourself. You know what you're good at, and what you can get good at. Everybody can get good at something. It may take some work. People hate to hear that phrase though. It may take a little work. You may have to do some work yourself, but it can be done. Trust me, I know. You don't give a few more people a few more time, some more time to get up in here. Wonder where they at. Once our co-hosts get back in here, we probably get started on our conversation. They ask people to join. They just join. Once our co-hosts get in here, we probably get started on the conversation. And then she done ran off too. Like I was saying, man, that's what we're gonna discuss tonight. Like once I got out of prison, I realized that, man. Like, I mean, honestly, I would never scared to make change anyway. But then I realized, like, to live the way I want to live, I knew I had a plan to work. Like, I already knew I was going to put in the work. And that's what I just started doing. Start investing in myself. I mean, that plays a big part too. Because you guys got to invest yourself, got to believe in yourself.
Where everybody at?
Not here. Not here.
They ain't never on time. Huh? Mm. Never on time. Oh, that's what we're gonna talk about.
I'm saying, telling them like, change, man. Want to live life, want to live. At the same time, make the changes that you need to make. My first point telling about was like jobs. I love bringing up jobs. I love bringing up jobs. Someone like me, I'm not gonna work a job that I don't like or a job that I don't get along with people with. I always hear the excuse people like, I hate my job. I hate my job. I can't stand the people I work with. Okay, then leave. Then they say I can't afford to leave. Oh, but you can. You know what I'm saying? One thing I had is that job I had discussed to one of the young guys there. I like it's a state of mind. A lot of people don't want to put in the work to invest in themselves. That's the first step always to invest in yourself. Everybody's good at something and can get good at other things. That's a fact. If you can think for yourself, you can definitely get good at what it is that you like to do or that you want to do. Just going to take some work, especially if you don't know how to do it. It's going to take some work. You got to put in the work. A lot of people don't want to put in the work into themselves to get where they want to be. To me, that's one of that's a big cause right there. Don't want to put in the work within yourself to get you where you want to be. And you got some people who will tell you all the time, even if it means getting your ass up at 4 a.m. in the morning, putting in that work for something that you want to do eventually before you go to that piece of shit job that you hate. That's what you gotta do. If it means coming home from that piece of shit job and staying up late, putting the work within yourself, do what you gotta do, and that's what you gotta do. A lot of people don't want to put in work. I hear people know, oh, I got kids, I got this and that. So, so I say this because of this. I don't speak on nothing that I don't know about. I always use myself as an example. It's about investing in yourself. What's it about? I don't talk much about what to have, what not have, what I have, what I don't have. But one fact that I do know, of course, with just that tiny bit of luck, I'm saying, put in work within yourself and have people that believe in you, you can definitely get where you want to get and where you want to be. But you gotta be willing to put in that work for yourself and let people see that you're putting that work for yourself. If they see that you're doing that for yourself, they believe in you, that's all it's about. But a lot of people we stay stagnant in these situations.
That's a good word. Say it again.
Stagnant. We stay stagnant in these situations because we get comfortable and then we start fearing the unknown.
Yeah, but fearing the unknown is human nature, though.
That's the problem, though. That's the problem. I can explain it.
Because I feel fear. Well, not all unknown, but I do fear unknown. I feel fear unknown because
Your booty stank. That's why. That's why. Because your booty stank. If fear of unknown, you don't have no booty wipes.
why am I mute?
When you use regular toilet paper, you don't get it all, so you're stanking. You got straight streaks. You know what's going on. Let's be real.
we finna put your ass on mute. Keep talking.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna shut up now.
Go ahead.
So in some cases, I don't think that because for the situation that I was put in and the decision that I recently made, it didn't have anything with me being stagnant. It was a fear of the unknown, like what's going to be next, And a lot of people say, when one door opens or when one door closes, the other one opens. But what door? It might be a door I don't want to open. And when I put myself and did everything that I did for one company, it's hard to go to the next company because everybody is always going to experience something that they don't like or people that they can't stand or work with. and stuff like that in every job. Like that's not just gonna happen at once. So is it really worth you going to another job? Is it really worth you quitting the job that you're at?
But to answer the question is yes. Because it comes down to how do you feel. One thing I hit on earlier, it's about yourself. I just read a thing some other day that broke my heart. A lady worked herself to death. You hear about it one time. She had like 2 or 3 jobs. They said she went to sleep in her partner and just never woke up. They said this lady working hard, like 2 or 3 jobs for her kids. But they're like little jobs, like a hotel maybe job. They're going from that job to like another. And no, I'm like, okay, no, you see a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm always the person where ever since I was young, a lot of people know me like I never liked to really work at a job that I felt like was gonna go anywhere, or it was somebody that was above me that would talk down to me. I never accepted that. You know what I'm saying? Now I come to realize that because when you can think that way already, you're already destining yourself for greatness. A lot of people don't see that. I believe all of us can destine ourselves for greatness. You just gotta go and do it. You know what I'm saying? All of us are like, if you was going to quit your job tomorrow, before you go and do that, did you ask yourself the day before, okay, I'm gonna go quit my job tomorrow. Where can I go? What I'm going to do to make sure that I don't put myself in a situation to where I become desperate. That's the key word I want to use too, is desperation. You don't want to put yourself to a situation where you become desperate. And a lot of us not realizing it, it's already living in desperation. You know what I'm saying? Like you going to work at a job you hate, dealing with people you hate to deal with on a constant basis, you're already in a state of desperation. You don't realize it. Why? Because your body picking up all these signals. Your body is stressing itself out. Your heart, your brain, and everything is stressing itself out. Just because it doesn't show it right now doesn't mean it's not happening. And that becomes a big issue within us. And I believe that people want to make that next step forward, but they are afraid of the unknown. One thing I believe is that not just one door is going to open up for you. If you just know you're supposed to do something, there's going to be more than one door open up for you, always. And if you want to go work in another field, go do it. Go do it. Go try it. There's nothing wrong with going. Go do it. If that's what you want to do, go do it. What's holding you? I can tell what's holding you. You holding yourself. Like, a lot of people like to use that word. No, man, I just can't go do this because this come up. Also, I can make sure I do this. I got to make sure I do that. Nothing that hold people in place is money. You know, you work on a job that paying you the bare minimum to the point where you can only make, you know what I'm saying, living paycheck to paycheck. You know, 78% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. That's a fact.
That's a high number.
78% of Americans live in paycheck to paycheck. That's like, okay.
And hate their job.
That's chaos and mate. And most of them hate their job. Most of them hate their job. So it's like,
First of all, that's only some people. I ain't living paycheck to paycheck. I'm living dollar to dollar.
78%. We didn't say Jawan.
I'm just saying that you know, if you want to have that mindset of being broke, then stay broke working for somebody, you know, or be in a space where you can be the victim or you can be the boss. Which one is it? You got to choose. Because being the victim, not, huh?
But that's where a lot of people are at. You hear it all the time. You see it all the time on Facebook. And it gets me, I go through all this Facebook all week. You know, I wasn't even going to talk on this subject, but I decided to because it leads to my next point we're going to talk about. Like, I'm like, man, if you really dislike what you're doing, you can do something about it. I'm a firm believer in that. Do something about it. Ain't no excuses. The only excuse is you. There ain't no goddamn excuses. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't, like I said, if you gotta get your ass up at 3 a.m. in the morning, start preparing yourself for what you want to do for you and your better being. That's what you do. You're gonna stay up to 3 o'clock at night to prepare yourself to do what you want to do for you. Then do it. One thing about living here in America, one thing about the world, period, you can make money off of any fucking thing. You can. You can make money off of anything. There's always gonna be somebody who's gonna like what you're doing, and that's a fact.
Stripping?
Always gonna be somebody who's gonna like what you're doing.
You gonna say stripping?
Hey, look at them. Them motherfuckers making $3, $4, $5,000 a week.
I tried to make $3,000-$4,000 a week, and they threw me out the club. They said I can't be jangling and dangling like that.
And know what it is? People hate on these strippers all the time, right? But Lee, I'm all for them. Especially they doing what they're supposed to do with their money. Take that money, you invest it into yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like, you know you can't strip forever. But if you got a bang-on body, you got something that people love, they'll go watch and throw money at you, you're making that $2,000, $3,000 a week, you go do that. But make sure you reinvest in yourself.
Yeah, I turned around.
It's all about reinvesting in yourself. You can't just go do that shit expecting to just live off that shit for all your life, because it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, don't inject nothing into your booty. You got these people turn around using that money for these BBLs and dying. That's some serious stuff, you know. Just because you want a big booty, you better get your butt in that gym. I'm just saying.
He gets on my nerve. What you snacking over there?
A chicken wing.
You know, nothing that people are fear. Like people are fear of change too, because like
The unknown.
if you tell somebody, look, man, get your ass up, go move to another state, and go try this. How many people think gonna go do that? I say maybe out of 90 people, maybe 2. Even if going to that other place is gonna be better, it's gonna be better. It's gonna make you better. Most people won't go. They always gonna be excuses why they don't want to go. I said the main thing is gonna be all come out to money. I just don't have the money to move. I don't have the money to afford it. Look, let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. It's about investing in yourself. It's about investing in yourself. And then if you put in a situation where even the universe lets you know, go. You know what I'm saying? The doors won't stay open forever. They won't. And even if you might not seem like there is a door that's open, then go open that door. People are scared to go and knock on that door too. Because sometimes you got 3, 4, 5 doors right there. And people just go scared to go knock on the door. You see what I'm saying? People too scared to go there, just be like, fuck it. So I'm like, if you got confidence in yourself, you know that you deserve better, know that you're better, then just go get it, man. Just go get it. Because if it's meant to come to you, you're going to get it.
That's not what Alexa said.
Shut up, Joanne.
See,
I think it's easier for people like me and for like you to do this because it's on upbringing too. Like I was always taking risks, always. That became part of my life. I was never scared to take risks. I seen a risk. I thought I was gonna better myself. I took it. I never looked back. I took it. I knew that I could accept the repercussions that came with the choice I had to make. But I always told myself, this is better for you. Like, this is better for you. Like, you can do this. And I had to say, all the risks I took, almost all of them worked out because I believed in myself. Because I knew, like, there was no going back from taking that risk. Even if I took that first jump in the risk and put me in the hole, I always climbed up out that hole because I knew there is no going back. I'm not going back. There's no going back. This situation was put here for me for a reason. It was put here for me to take this for a reason. You see what I'm saying? I believe a lot more people gotta have that state of mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the reason why a lot of people are living in poverty nowadays and things like that. Because they don't got that state of mind. Like they don't think that way. But most people take that one step forward, get scared, and take 2-3 steps back. And then they blame it on something else. Or actually, it was your fault. Like, no. You did that to yourself. You start to take that jump. And then mid-jump, you try to turn around. So during that mid-jump, when you try to turn around, your ass fell into the ditch. Now you blaming the situation and everybody else as what happened, and it was your fault. Nobody told you as to turn around mid-jump.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people turn around mid-jump and end up worse than what they was than they start off in. Then they're always an excuse. It's like, no, man, go look in the mirror. Like, look what the fuck you just did. You know what I'm saying? Like, look what you just did. That's why I don't feel sorry for a lot of people, man, because I look at a lot of people's situations. I look at what they're doing, what they're not doing. And I look at what they're complaining about compared to what they're doing, what they're not doing. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like a lot of people like to talk to me because that's how I am. I'm like, man, like shut the hell up, man. Well, no, you're just fucking lazy. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's not that, you just want to make the moves for yourself. I'm not gonna sit here and stroke your ego for you. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not gonna do it.
Let me stroke your ego.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many great opportunities out there, man. For a lot of people, they choose to just go get them, man. Just go get them.
Now,
The other day, to try to prove a point, I looking at you got jobs, a lot of like low-end manufacturing jobs. That a lot of guys out here say that they can't get a job. You got a lot of these low-end manufacturing jobs out here that will relocate you to their state and will pay for you to come to their state to work in their fucking plant on an assembly line. Yeah, and I see things like that. And I'm like, these lazy motherfuckers, they can't.
Maybe they don't want to work on the assembly line.
Then we'll go back to my point. Okay, now we getting somewhere. I'm so glad you brought that up. Now we getting somewhere. So ain't the man, bro, I never do no damn fucking assembly line job. Oh, okay, brother. And what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? What you want to do? Oh, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Okay, well, first of all, do you got the skills for it? You just try to people like that, they ain't got the skills for it. Like, okay, so what you gonna do to get the skills for it? See, people don't want to talk about that though. What irks me, like they don't want to talk about that though. You don't want to work this assembly line job. You don't work this type of job. You don't want to go work at a cycling company type of job because you want to go do this. But you're not applying yourself to go do that other thing too.
You're not applying yourself, Smokey.
You know what I'm saying? Like nigga, you just go home and complaining. And you just complaining. So what are you doing? You know, me, I'm not a big fan of like college and stuff like that. Matter of fact, I tell people all the time, don't go to fuck college. They just gonna take your money. You know what I'm saying? Go get your experience. Work, get experience. Experience goes a long way. But if you're that lazy, then take your ass to college to get the fucking certificate then. You know what I'm saying? At least you're gonna learn a little something to say you got something on paper that at least hopefully give you the incentive, the initiative to go and do something better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I done got so fed up with a lot of people now that I'm just like, man, and this comes from somebody who have 3 felonies. 3 felonies.
I thought you only had one. What?
No, they put them into one case. But it's still 3 felonies. You go look it up, still all 3.
Well, they really got you, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they got me, man. They ran my ass. They ran me, boy. They got me good. They got me good. But I learned from them.
They buttercreamed your butthole, boy. They really got
Hey, without the cream. It was no cream involved.
They really got you.
Yeah, they got me. But I realized it was a great learning experience. Because like I said, like when I first got out, it was hard as fuck. It was hard as hell. But then I started investing in myself. You see what I'm saying? I started investing in myself. That's why I'm like, man, just because the money not there right now that investment in yourself gonna start paying dividends in the end. And slowly, as I start looking around, it's starting to pay dividends, starting to pay dividends, starting to pay dividends. Now that I've been out for so long, the job's starting to kick in, certain things starting to kick in. The universe has blessed me tremendously. You know, I'm gonna start my own business, my own second business. So that'll be something we can discuss about later on. But when you start investing in yourself, it'll eventually start to pay itself off.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta believe. You just gotta believe.
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
Nope.
I think about it every night and day.
I spread my cheeks and
I
fall.
wait for you to. I wait for him to jump in.
You always gotta add something extra. That's not even the damn lyrics.
That was, you didn't hear the remix? You ain't never heard the remix?
No.
Something wrong.
I didn't hear the.
What this time is right there.
Hold on.
I believe. But some people just gotta get fed up with their current
I was fed up.
situation.
Just like you just got fed up.
I did get fed up. I went in at 11:30, and by 2:30, I was almost home.
Y'all, I'm proud of Alexis. She finally made that next step. She still has some fear. She has a lot
I
of fear.
still do.
She has a lot of fear, but she finally made that. Okay, somebody need to work on their mic.
Why did you want to smoke twice?
Yeah, they close them out. Why you got two?
That's him.
Yeah, you did close out that second one you just brought in, bro.
Juwan always doing something. Are you trying to switch over?
Yeah.
Well, it's not working out. I thought the first one was just fine. Like the cam
Unless he
came
went,
in and
unless he
everything.
went on his. Now he's trying to get on his laptop instead of his phone. Juwan finna be fired.
No, but why you fix on that? It's like we're saying, man. Like she made that first step. But like I said, when you make them steps, the universe bless you. It's meant for you to make them steps. There will be things put in place for you to do, for you to be comfortable. Things for you to happen comfortable. For you to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Things be put in place for you to make them moves. But this is one thing I've been trying to explain to her.
You ain't try.
But that I did explain.
It's
to
on my
her.
time. You can't force something to happen when that other person is not ready.
It's not forcing anything.
Yes,
like I said,
I told her 6 years ago.
By me saying that, it's not forcing anything. Because if I had forced you, you would have did it 6 years ago. So you can throw that out the window right now.
I ain't throwing shit out the window.
See, I just gave you my opinion about the thing. I always give my opinion about certain things. But at the end of the day, it'd be up to you to make the decision. It was my opinion 6 years ago that she did this. That's what it was. That's all it was. And anybody that be in the street, I was anything. I was always give my opinion to people. I don't force nothing. I don't force my beliefs upon nobody. I don't force anything upon nobody. I just give you my true opinion. My opinion based on what I see, though. What I see by me watching and observing. I would never give my opinion on something that I don't know about. Or something that I haven't watched and observed for a certain amount of time. I've always been, I mean, those who know me coming up, I've always been a real patient, observant individual. I would sit back and watch things for numerous times. Hell, while I was doing wrong on the street, I sat back and I watched things for numerous, even weeks at a time before I decided to make a move upon anything. You know, hey, bro, we just saw your cam and it just went off again. I don't know what you're over there doing. But as I was saying, like, in her case, she just said it was a force. It is never a force thing for me. I will never force anything because you're grown. I can't force a grown person to do anything. I could put a gun to your head and you still have a choice. The choice is still yours to make. I can never force anything upon you as an individual. You see what I'm saying? I never will do that. I just only give you my honest opinion. And I'm not saying my opinion is always right, but I can guarantee you that there is some belief, some truth to my opinion, because my opinion comes from me watching and observing you as a person, you in your surroundings, you in your environment. I see how it affects you. I see how you act when you leave. I see how you act when you come back. I see how you act when you get around certain people. I see how you act when you leave one person. I'm constantly watching.
Try to unmute him and see if he come in now.
I'm constantly watching. So when I give you an opinion about certain situations, that's where it's coming from. That's exactly where it's coming from. It's not coming from what I think. It never comes from what I think. Because what I think don't mean shit. What I think don't mean a goddamn thing. Always remember that. Royalty, I'm busy.
I tried to see what she wanted. She said she called you, not me.
I'll leave y'all with that food for thought for a minute. I got a lot more to speak on. We could walk bottom to this because the God King, the Guru, knows what he's talking about. The universe told me to talk about this. I was gonna talk about something totally different, but I promise you, before I walked in here, after I talked to one of my guys, the universe like, this is what y'all talking about today.
Change.
What was that?
What?
What was that?
What was what?
That you just punched out the door.
Roti tied some balloons on the door handle,
Oh,
so I hit them out the way.
for some reason.
She got balloons all over the house.
Oh,
Tying them on the wall, tying them on the handles. She lets them go on the ceiling. The ceiling high as hell. Ain't nobody finna reach that.
yeah. Don't blame me there. Mm-hmm.
Ceiling too high. I said, girl, but I want my balloon. I don't know why you let it go. And I had all her balloons together, tied up on a weight, and she wanna start punching them like a punching bag, and 2 of them flew up.
That's terrible.
But like he
I'll tell
said,
you what.
I did quit my job.
Are you quit it? Oh, so you ain't got no money.
I got money.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I waited till I got my annual bonus, my
And then
quarterly,
you left.
my
Oh, you
quarter,
just
my quarterly bonus. I waited.
you terrible.
Then I was like, okay, it's time for me to go.
Mm. Well, can't stay somewhere that ain't gonna make you feel valued. I don't even want to say valued. I'd say this: any place that doesn't see the value that you bring, you have to also understand, like, at this point, what is your purpose there? If they don't see the value, because that's what they hired you for. A lot of people get it confused, like, oh, I'm spending time for money. No, that's not the exchange. The exchange is, what value do you bring to this business? And if they don't see it for themselves, right, and they show that, they always say that people show you how they feel about you. It's the same thing with a job, right? If they can't put you in a space where you can not only learn, develop, and grow and progress, a lot of that is in our control. However, we have a lot of businesses that don't do that. They say they do it. They say they live by their core values, but they're doing the exact opposite. It's no different. It's no different than politicians. Politicians, and we can sit here and say, "Oh yeah, they're doing a great job." All of them are liars. Not one person have I seen went in there to be for the people. It's no different from a job. If you can point out one good leader, one good owner from a business throughout the United States that can tell us that they are treating their people the way they need to treat them, they're ensuring that their voices are heard. They're ensuring that, hey, you got stuff going on outside, maybe in your family, we've got resources. And besides that, hey, if there's anything that you need, hey, let's chat it out. Let's talk about it so that if I can bring something to the table to help you out, then let me do that. But no, there's not one employer that I can think of right now that has done that. Every employer that I have had, I can guarantee you, I can tell you through this experience that they don't give a shit about you, and they definitely don't give a shit if you die, because they're going to have to replace your
They
ass,
don't.
and you are just another number. Yeah,
I
yeah.
just have a number.
Thank you for your experience and the value that you bring. You made me more money, but guess what? Should you fall off dead, well, hey, oh, we feel so sorry. Oh, hey, Bob, did you hire the next person already?
Yep.
Okay, good. There you go. Now somebody's in your spot.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming to your door going, "Oh my God, we're praying for your family."
Nope.
All that BS, you can scratch it, right? Because the reality, if they really, truly, and honestly cared about people, they would be in those seats, right, having these one-on-one conversations and really say, "Hey, I really know, I truly know what it is to be in your shoes, right? I had a situation where I can relate to, right, that I can share with you, but this ain't about me. This is about you, and I want to be able to help you." They don't do that because, yeah, granted, if you have a big business and it's over 500, maybe to 1,000 employees, you may not have the time to do that, but that's why the resources are there. But your direct leader can do that, right? Because they're not watching over 500 people. They're not watching over 1,000 people. We're in a space today where customer service is so when I say customer service is dead, it's dead, right? It doesn't matter how you feel. My employee doesn't feel valued, so you as the customer, you gonna get the value in which I'm being treated as.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's facts. That's
Now
facts.
you can go to Chick-fil-A and get "It's my pleasure," right? You can get that all day. They present that every day. They're expected to do that. That is a boundary. That is a expectation, because they set expectations. Not one time have I heard, "Hey man, you come up to this drive-through again, you're gonna get clapped in them cheeks." Why? Because you running off at the jaws. No, you don't hear that. Now, I'm pretty sure when they go home, you know, everybody deserves the right to express themselves. I'm pretty sure they talking about you. "Hey man, dude came through the window today. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, my ass. I was about to throw that chicken sandwich in their face."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
people don't have respect and dignity for other people anymore either. But that stems from, hey, emotional intelligence. Do I have enough emotional intelligence to treat this employee that's handling my food with care? Because inside of that business, they're probably not doing it. But I can do it for them. And as long as they feel comfortable with, hey, okay, my customers are, every time I have somebody come through this window, hey, I feel good about it because they treat me well. My bosses may not treat me well, but guess what? They treat me well. Now, is that going to keep them there? That can, but eventually they will get tired. They will get tired for bringing that to your business when they know, you know what, I can go somewhere else and do this, somewhere that's going to value me. Now, these businesses don't care about the value anymore. They care about the dollar that they're putting in their pocket.
Yeah.
Now, I guarantee you, if I came along and said, hey, you ain't running things right, and every time you don't invest in your employees or you don't invest in your own business, if I'm holding you accountable as an owner and I say, hey, you know what I'm going to do to your business? If you don't get this straight by next week, I am fining your business $200,000. And every time I come by your business, and we get a customer complaint and you still ain't got your stuff together, the next time I'm shutting you down. This is about accountability, right? It's about holding everybody accountable, but none of these owners are held accountable to a standard. That's why you see customer service. That's why you see these employees. That's why they don't have loyalty to you. That's why they want to leave and go to the next.
That's
There's a
probably these big corporations, though.
I mean, these big corporations, that's all they care about. Now, if I smack you, if I told you, hey, as an owner, you got to make sure that you meet the mark, and by the end of at the end of the year, whatever your goal is, our goal is that you have complete satisfaction from not just the customers but your employees. If I told you that you would get fined by the end of the year, not just from taxes, but you would get a severe fine, one that's going to drain your bank account. How many people?
They will make it happen.
Exactly.
No
It's
matter
because
how many employees they had, they gonna make sure.
It's selective though. Okay, so you got to remember, it is selective. If I like you, right? If I kiss your ass, if I lick up all and down your crack as an employee, hey, I like this dude. Let's promote him. You still gonna have responsibilities, but keep kissing my ass. Right? And I'm not saying that the people that get promoted have to do that. I'm saying there are some people, we know that in the workplace, that do just that. Instead of, and those are the same people that are lying. Those are the same people that are talking about other people behind their back, right? I've had it time and time again. But that's because they're cowards. Those same people are driving the business in another direction and don't even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of fixing the problem, where you could say, where especially if you have the power, where you could say, hey, you know what? I see that you're in a different space. Let's talk about that. Let's jump into getting to a root cause so that we can get you on a path where you're not feeling like you have no voice, where you don't feel like you're a part of this corporation. Let's get you in a space where you go home and you're happy to go home. You're happy to not only see your kids because now you're providing for them, but you're happy when you get up so that you can go to work and do the same thing, right? Now people are starting to care, right? If I showed you care, if I showed you that I want to invest a little bit of time into you as your leader, you're more amped to come to work. You're more excited about getting up in the morning on time. You're more excited about looking at your kids going, I know I'm providing for you, but it ain't about that. What it is, it's about being an example as a parent, right? Now, if I go to work and I come home happy, that's what they see, right? But they have to know that, oh, my dad, my mom, they love what they do. Because if not, you just created a cycle within them where I can go to work and just not give a damn. Okay, I can stay in this hamster wheel of a cycle, right? Be unhappy and still work this job because my dad and mom worked hard, so I have to do the same thing. No, it's really about them looking at you, going, okay. Well, his next move was he wasn't happy, so he found something that made him happy, or she found something that made her happy. And a lot of these corporations just don't get it. They don't get it until it's bankruptcy time. They don't get it until they start getting negative reviews. They don't get it. They still don't get it, and they will never get it because it's all about the high mighty dollar.
Yep.
And until they start getting to a place where they see that their employees really help drive the business, there's it's a two-way street, right? Your employees help drive the business, where you as the leaders and leaders, right, have to do your job too, right? Because there's more to it. There's that admin side. You got to be able to do your job at a high level. And most people can sit here and say, oh, I go to my job and do it well. Well, how do we know that? Are you getting the same type of coaching and development with your leader? How do we know that you're doing the job that you're supposed to do? Are these employees saying the same thing about you? That's what's important. At the end of the day, when you come home, you should be able to tell yourself, you know what, I did something that really made a difference, not only in that business, but I'm changing people's lives out there. I'm changing customers' lives. They understand. Now, we all know you ain't going to have, most of these customers coming in with attitudes, but typically that's because something has happened and it hasn't been addressed, right? So inside the business, That's where you get to the root cause of each person's problem and really come up with a solution. Everybody's talking about problems, but ain't nobody got no solution, right? Well, it starts from within. That's why you see a lot of these corporations now, they're failing because all they care about is the dollar instead of really caring about. They would make so much more money,
If the
if
employees
they
are
just
happy.
focus. Man, if they just focus, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, it's great. If I made $42 billion a year, let's say, okay, I'm gonna pay these taxes, do whatever, but if I know that I'm walking away with $42 billion a year, right? Chances are that my employees did well enough so that we can make that $42 billion a year. Chances are I didn't already paid all my taxes. Chances are I had enough money to either, hey, you know what? If we were to ever hit a recession, guess what? I got y'all covered. I got y'all covered because y'all did well. But you don't hear companies do that. You hear a lot of them bullshitting. Oh, we did a great job this year. And then I want to thank this department, giving out this fake recognition. And all of a sudden, 2 months later, you laid off.
And that's what a lot of these American companies go. And I hit on what you just said. You hit it on the head. Like there's a guy named Robert Wright. I love to watch his show. Like he's one of them studious guys who studied the businesses and stuff. And he did exactly that. He took Walmart for instance. He like I think he like they made like $100 and something billion. No, they made like 300 something billion in profit for 1 year, right? Here's like so. Say they decide to pay their taxes, which they don't. Say they pay their taxes, it went down to around like two something. They're like now, so your annual profit is 200 some billion dollars. They're like if you took just $1 billion, just $1 billion in profit, and put it back into your company, give your people all pay raises, and he did math. He broke it down where they gave every employee, regular employee, he raised a pay rate up to like 20 bucks an hour, and even gave like the managers, like manager raise this and that, all with $1 billion in profit.
Mm.
Here, like you still gonna have some of that $1 billion left over to put back in your pocket, which you probably wouldn't even see missing to begin with. It's crazy. And he like problem is all the guys more worried about their sons and daughters not having a yacht for Christmas, not getting a brand new Lamborghini Ferrari for their birthday, than it is about putting back into their own business and their employees. And he said the one problem is what I agree with too. He's like also problem is that a lot of the employees get so stagnant and they get so stuck in these jobs, not realizing that all they gotta do is just walk out. And it's like they're all to the stage just one walk out. I think it happened like one time somewhere. I read about it. I should have had it post, but like a whole bunch of employees just walked out of their job. So
Yeah.
all the customers started taking all the TVs and all the electronics that they did run out the store with the shit. You know,
I mean, I ain't saying that's
he's
right,
like
but
he's like you fuck with people money like that. He's like the laws have changed so motherfucking fast. And I agree. Cause nobody likes for the money to be fucked with. Like if you lose all your employees in one day and they say to walk out, but you're not gonna walk back in this motherfucker until we get some fair treatment. That's all it takes. But
mm,
ain't nobody gonna do that because
mm,
they scared about that losing that paycheck.
You might have a couple, but you need more than a couple to do that. And
Exactly.
that's and I think that's the problem with I mean, not to speak on my company, and I'm not going to say where I worked, but
Your company full of shit.
everybody wasn't. Like I've seen and worked with good people in my company, and
Oh yeah,
there,
people
there
everywhere though.
there's people who wanted to see me grow and develop, and then there's people who didn't. And I mean, us moving here showed me a lot of people who didn't want to see me progress and develop because I think they thought I was there to take their job, but at the end of the day, my job relocated me because you was having some kind of issue. And I'm not here to take your job. My job is to come here, show that I can help you be successful and move on to the next. But instead of you helping me help you, you want to help me be stagnant in my position
mm,
to show that I wasn't really doing nothing. Or no, we really don't need her. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I work my ass off. I work my ass off at any position, any job that I've ever had. And so when I had went into work and stuff just didn't feel right, I was like, it's time for me to go.
Huh.
Because what am I doing here if I don't feel like, first of all, you don't want me here. Secondly, you making it hard for me to be here. Thirdly, when I wake up in the morning now, I don't want to come to work. And I'm too old for that. I'm too old to come to a job that I've already put in 10 years for.
I know that's right. I
And
already
to
know.
go into a center who are like, oh well, she thinks she better. If I thought I was better than y'all, I would have fired half of y'all already.
Oh,
And I would have made all these complaints and concerns and stuff to HR to get you not here. But I gave you 6 months to get your shit together and get your act together on the way you was treating me and talking to me, and that did not change. Then when I found out that I wasn't the only manager that was sent to this location, they've been having more difficulties. Like, y'all should have dealt with that situation before I came.
yeah.
Like, if you already have complaints on somebody that's not doing their job, that's not wanting people to progress and develop, then there's a problem. Like, y'all not doing y'all job, and y'all sent me into a location that you already knew there was going to be conflict, and nobody let me know what the conflict was going to be. Nobody had my back when I did complain, and I'm not going to do that shit. I'm tired. I'm ready to retire, and I'm not going to keep going into a job where I feel I'm not, they don't value me and understand the work that I put in every day. So I took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
Good leap
I
of
can
faith.
understand that.
Because things were still headed out for her after that leap of faith.
Give me a minute. Give me one moment.
Things still, the universe still blessed her after that leap of faith. Literally, still blessed her after that leap of faith. The way things lined up for her. The timing of everything was just perfect. That's something that just happened by coincidence. And those who know me know that I don't believe in coincidence. I never have believed in coincidence. I believe everything that happens, there's a reason behind it. Every person you run into is a reason behind it. And I be saying, it goes back ultimately, like you were saying too, you know, it's on the
Yeah.
individual. It's on the individual. Like, I know people I talk to, they're like, yeah, I hate my job, but I don't let it affect me. That's a great mindset to have too. Because like you were saying, if you wake up in the morning, but okay, I'm gonna have a great day. I'm gonna have a great day. You go to work, you put in that great effort to where even like the customers know you like, oh man, you're doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Even though your boss is a piece of shit and everybody that you mess with are pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying? Your coworkers. As long as you keep that good, steady attitude, steady mind, customers notice it, eventually your doors open up too. Like, yeah, you ain't gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
But by you putting forth the effort, people are gonna notice that. They're gonna notice. Hell, you might decide to quit one day. Customer never coming there for the years you've been there. Find out that you want to go apply somewhere else, and this might be somebody who worked for this nice, great, big ass company. Like, man, I'm gonna apply for over here. Bam, there you go. I talk to people all the time too. Like, it pays to be a good individual, even if it's hard. Don't go to work with this old frown. You know, when people work out, especially at Walmart. I like being Walmart. One of the places people are just miserable. Ain't no smiling. Workers walk around, mugs on their face. Like, no. Even if you hate it, smile, man. Them people, the customers notice your smile. Cause might be that there's one customer to be like, hey man, you like working here? You know, you be like, not really. Hey man, come apply. Like, I'm telling you, man. People is more comfortable with talking to people they think are approachable. That's why I tell people all the time that sitting bitch face is bullshit. Especially a lot of girls, you like tell me that it just might sit bitch face. If you say hi to me, I'm gonna smile. No, fuck that sitting bitch face. You know what I'm saying? If you smile more often, People who want to be noticed by will notice you more because you're more approachable. That was about to. That's what I'm going to invest in yourself. Become more approachable. Don't sit here being invisible where you won't better, you won't change, but you're looking like somebody who just getting beat down every day. Even if that person getting beat down every day, you know what I'm saying? Invest in your mind. Your mind and your body. It's a living, breathing thing. You are living. Your spirit, your soul is living inside this thing right now. But as long as it's inside there, you control this thing you're living in. If you constantly is down and out and hurt and turn bad about yourself, your body is gonna start reciprocating what you're saying to it. Your body's gonna start doing what you're saying to it. It's gonna start acting the way that you're acting to it. To the point where your mind gonna be like, man, today's gonna be a fucked up miserable day. You're like, yeah, it is, man. Fuck, I'm gonna go to work because it's bullshit. You start thinking that way, your mind gonna be like, yeah, you're right, buddy. Hey, you shouldn't go in today, man. Go out there and smoke your blunt and drink you something before you go in. You gotta deal with that. No, do that type of shit. But if you tell yourself every morning, hey, no, I woke up. Thank you. That's number one. See what I'm saying? Going to the bathroom, but like, hey, look, this is what I do every morning. This is what I do. I wake up like, man, I know today's gonna be great. I know I'm gonna learn something. I know I'm gonna accomplish something today that's gonna better the future for me and my kids for tomorrow. I never think about death and those promises. Never know what's gonna happen. But I'll tell the universe, I know I'm not gonna happen today. I know you would at least give me some type of sign. And if you didn't, well, until then, this is what we gotta do to make it better for this. And so I know I need to think this certain way or for to make it better for this. They got the point where some people are like, man, though, you arrogant. I'm not arrogant. It got nothing to do with arrogance. I build my confidence up to a level where my mind is at that same state level. Therefore, even now, it's like I see the goodness in everything. Like something bad can happen to me. And I will sit back first, and now I'll be like, okay, first of all, why did that happen? With something that I can't control. Now, it's something that I can't control, I don't even fuck with it. You see, I'm saying? A lot of people want to control everything about your life. And I realize that you don't control your life. I said because you're going to control what you yourself can do for yourself. You can't control anything else outside of your sphere. You can't control nothing outside of that. You can control the choices that you make. But things that can bombard you from here and there, all this and that, you don't control a lot of that. So I don't worry about a lot of that shit. When it come my way, I smack that shit to the left. I smack that shit to the right. Where it's coming on, I don't worry about a lot of that shit. Shit that do put some holes in me, I don't worry about that shit. Now I watched a video about this guy named Denzel Curry. It was a rap video. It was so deep because it shows like he was climbing this mountain. It was other black guys. They were shooting him in the back. And he was making this climb. But he kept walking. And the name of it was called Keep Walking. You know what I'm saying? And like he didn't turn around and get mad. They didn't turn around and beat him up. Like a lot of us, we get stabbed in the back and we'd take a step back to deal with that problem. You see what I'm saying? I used to think that way too, but I started to realize that, okay, you know what? That can be dealt with from a future standpoint. I don't need to stop what I'm doing to turn around and deal with you now. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to impede my progress to deal with you now.
Say that one more time.
I'm not going to impede my progress to deal with you now. I can deal with that later on. I'm going to keep moving. I'm going to keep walking. I love that video because that's exactly what he did.
Because most people want you to.
Yeah. They want to impede your progress. They want you to stop and come back with them. And then when you do come back with them, you get a tussling, get a fight. Next, you know, you wasted 5-10 years tussling within yourself because of another motherfucker. No. You keep walking. Motherfuckers shoot your back. You keep walking. Motherfuckers, you keep walking. Eventually, when you get there, you can turn around and you look back and you can be like, y'all can do the exact same thing I just did.
Impeding my progress will get you killed. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's how I see it too. That's exactly how I see it. That's why I don't give people the time of day. I don't give motherfuckers the time of day now. Like I know what I need to do Even though it may look outside looking in, he may be like, man, I'm telling you, ain't doing shit. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes though, you gotta.
Right. I'm like, okay. Okay, that's fine.
Nah, but when you got people that impede your progress and you don't stop, they also be calling you what? He a
He a bitch. Or, I've been called, hey, that nigga a bitch. You know what I'm
he
saying?
ain't do shit.
Nigga ain't gonna do nothing. I call nigga a bitch to his face. He gonna do. Bam. I've been called a bitch to my face more than once by some of these niggas. I just smile. Because I'm not gonna let you impede my progress. You're not gonna impede my progress, but best believe I don't forget. And this is the issue. It's like you think you know me well enough where you can call me a bitch or whatever to my face. But it's like, okay, that shows that you truly don't know who I am.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like you truly don't know who I am. But I refuse to let that mindset. Now the old me, I probably have been in jail. Like most people know, I probably been back in jail, back to square one. You see what I'm saying? But my mind constantly thinks ahead now. My mind is so far ahead now. Sometimes I gotta slow myself down. But man, you can't think far ahead because life don't like that. Sometimes like you get thinking 4 or 5 years ahead. Life be like, nah, nigga, you going too far. You know what I'm saying? You start here. You start here. I'm giving you this here. Start here. Look at what you got, and you keep moving forward steadily.
Yep. No, you. I'm trying to find my earpiece. Can't find it. I don't know.
Something. He done had like 2, 3 different headsets in his ear already.
I found it. Found him. Hey. When I find my stuff, see, I be hiding stuff, and then my black ass can't even find it later. I
He
probably got
hiding
like,
it from nobody but his damn self.
huh?
Who you
What's that?
hiding from in your house? Who you hide? Ain't you ain't got your nephew over there?
Yeah, I know, but I got traumatized. So, so, so ever since then, I was like, I
Let me
gotta
know
hide stuff.
anybody gonna be over my house, but I'm gonna put this up and hide it from myself anyway, though, just in case.
Just saying.
I swear, every time you talk about him, that's the only thing you talk about. You know how old that nigga grown now.
Well,
What had happened was,
I'm just saying that was difficult for me. I didn't go to therapy after that. There was a lot that he did to me, and you know, I thought that I could get past it. Because he was just a kid, and I'm sitting up there. He just, my clothes were ruined. They had caked in, muffin stains and blueberries on there. You can't get blueberry stuff out. And ever since then, I was just like, and you can't do nothing to a kid, and he just look at you all cute, and he's like, "What? What I do? What you gonna do?" I'm sitting up there going, "Yeah, I shouldn't have gave you that. Then I mean,
They're innocent, man. At that age, so
it's
innocent,
funny
man.
because he's older now, but
Yeah,
way older.
he's 21 now.
21, yeah, yeah. That's crazy when I think about these
That was
kids.
19 years ago.
Yeah, they grow so fast.
Don't do that to us. Don't do that.
That
Don't.
was 19
I'm
years
still
ago, bro.
young. Yes, yes, I had my kids at a young age. I'm still fucking young. Shit.
I know I didn't.
Nigga, you probably got. I think you still got about 15 kids
He
around.
got some kids out there.
You got about 15 young niggas
No,
around for
no.
your
See,
ass.
let me let
Where,
me let
nobody
me
can
see.
find
They
his
can't
ass.
find you though. So it's like, that's who you hiding from.
That's
You
you
know,
guys.
You
here's
didn't
the
want to
thing.
be on the door.
Said if my
Here-
kids
here's
don't
the
know where I
thing.
live, they ain't gonna know where I
You
live.
if I ever see somebody that I was with and they have a kid, I'm gonna look at them and be like,
How old are you?
hey, how
You
come that
gonna
kid look a
walk
little like?
the other way. You would tilt that hat.
How old are you?
How old is you? Huh. Huh. There's only one that I can think of. Only one that I can think of that maybe potentially, but no, because I always do follow ups. You know what I mean? I don't just leave them out there by themselves. Yeah, yeah. There's only one that I
Why
can
would
think of
you?
that could potentially, like, I got his baby. Like, why? Why would you do that? But see, the truth of it is that I remember, like, um, I used to be, you know, my pullout game was strong, and then with her, yeah, no, okay, my pullout game was never strong. Let me just stop being, let me stop lying.
You know you lying, nigga.
Hey, get my damn nerves.
You mommy them motherfuckers, mommy them motherfuckers on on the 87 South show. They did that UTI show. Ladies, what they call the birth control that you put in you?
IUD?
IUD. They did an IUD show. That shit was so fucking funny. The song was
Oh
amazing.
well, I don't know if y'all noticed,
Ass.
but
Hey,
but
make sure you get the
but
IUD. I got a weak pull out game. I ain't pulling out.
that don't even, look. I'm gonna tell y'all right now that don't even help. I can tell you through experience.
Oh yeah, you know those
Just
stories
saying,
out there with that.
huh?
But I tell you that nothing is 100% workable. They
What?
let you know that. If
And,
I nothing
and since
except
that's the case,
don't fuck.
I done
That's
disproved all of it.
just don't fuck. That's 100%. That's it. Just don't do it. Ain't
I
nobody not.
mean, I
Part
agree
of
you're supposed to
nature.
wait till you're married, but hey, ain't nobody doing that.
That's part of nature.
Ain't not one person that I know, not one person that I know is actually out there doing it. They all, and look, you know what? Okay, so now we on that topic. Let the church, okay, as
So hey,
much
that's a whole nother topic. Hey, no, we not gonna get into the church. Hey,
no,
that's next week.
I'm
That's
just
next.
saying, all of them talk about, yeah, you need to wait till you married. None of y'all waited till y'all was married. Matter of fact, while you in church, you was probably getting it, and
The
most of
church
them
is
was
full of
probably
shit.
banging a deacon or a pastor. And it's sad to say this because it's true.
The church.
Everybody don't want to talk about it, but they were sharing wives and stuff. I'm like, dude,
Hey, we know firsthand what's going on in some of them churches. Boy, they won't put their business out there. Hey, churches. Let me put it away. Not all of them. A lot of them are full of
was
shit.
full of it. Was full of it.
Yes, full of straight shit. But
But
that's
when
one of
you
the things.
married, oh, like
Hey,
you
I'm
said,
gonna piss off a lot
you
of
said,
people on that thing. I'm pissed
you
off a lot
know
of
when
these
you
so-called Christians and shit. I'm pissed a lot of these motherfuckers off. I'm probably gonna lose all my friends on that day. My friends gonna go from 250 to 50. After that one, I'm just gonna call it what it is.
I'm just saying what I know.
Exactly.
I just,
Say it again. Say it again.
huh?
Say it again. Say it again.
What?
You just gonna say what you know. Say what you know.
Oh, I just know they need to stop lying in the church too. They just as bad as politicians. They want politicians to do something for them, but then
All
they still lying in
politicians.
the church. You,
Yeah,
they trying to
themselves.
tell everybody else be about God, but you ain't even acting like it. You ain't even living like it. Matter of fact, that's how you got them 9,000 kids because you slept with brother Deacon Jones, and then you gonna go back to your husband talking about the Lord is blessing me. No,
Bro,
no,
bro,
no.
most motherfuckers don't even know
Stop.
who God is. They don't even know who God is. What pissed me off so much, a lot of motherfuckers talking about some good happened, or it was God's will. Something bad happened, or it was the devil's will. Man, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
He said,
Like
"Shut up."
so much. Like it's so much shit in that goes into that, man. It ain't got shit to do with God or the devil. It's all you, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, woo, hey, the stream jumping. That's how you know you hear home, boy. The
Huh?
stream. There you go. Hey, our stream started jumping. You know you hear home some of the aspects, boy. Hey, the universe let me know that it's right on the money.
Cool. Me?
Right on the money.
I don't know why it's hard to hear y'all now. It's weird.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, yeah, weird, huh?
Hold on. I know I got to shut some of this stuff down.
Y'all started talking about God and the devil.
What? Yeah, well, you know how that go. Church folk, church. You know the bad thing is the church people don't want to hear that because they know it's true. And the thing is, we was kids. We all observed. I observed. I knew what they was doing. I just played dumb. I did it intentionally because I wanted them to believe that whatever they was telling me, like I was literally going, "Yeah, you full of it." Like
Bro, my last year going to church before I left the house with her, I was getting sick. Cause like I really get like stomach sick. You know what I'm saying? Well, sometimes she told me from that like, oh, he just got the devil in him. You know what I'm saying? I was getting sick going to the church. You know what I'm saying? Like, and cause my mind was already in the state of mind where I was like, man, too much funniness going on in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, too much fake. And back then, I realized that a lot of people only go to the church to be a part of something. They just want to fit in.
I mean,
They just want to fit in and say that they're a part of something.
I would say this because to me, and I truly believe. I mean, but I've always said, you remember back in the day, I used to have my own little church, right? I used to be downstairs in the basement preaching. I had teddy bears. I didn't care if y'all didn't show up or not. I'd do my own little sermon thing. I didn't care. I was the pastor, and church isn't supposed to be a business. Church is supposed to be about the word, right? You got pastors out there going, $500 so that the Lord will bless you. If you put $1,000 here, then we'll give you an extra prayer and this and that. I'm like,
Turned into
y'all
a business.
tripping, man. Y'all
Business.
doing the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You
They
ain't
just
even supposed to bring up tithes as tithes is in retro. When we think about tithing, they didn't have when we talk about Christ back then, there was no actual money or value. Like they traded things, right? So when we think about tithing in a sense of what you give, it doesn't just mean money in the church. It's talking about giving your time to people. It's talking about giving something that maybe somebody doesn't have, right? Taking care of people in the sense of that's your 20%, right? Doing what you can do, that 20% of your time. Now, if I have it, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that I do my best to give. But I can guarantee you that most of these people they full of it, right? They
You know
giving
what
us.
movie was great about that we watched? The Preacher's Wife. The Denzel Washington, Whitney Houston. The Preacher's Wife. That was an excellent movie showing just that. The greatest gift that you can give to anybody is not money. It's not none of that. It's your time. It's your time.
But
Because you don't
nobody,
get time back. You don't
nobody,
get time
nobody
back.
is doing that. Nobody is really setting that to be the pinnacle of the message like that they preach in church. It's not that way. Um, and I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't take care of your pastor. I'm not saying that because we know for one, if you're gonna be a pastor,
You're
that
right.
church is your responsibility. Now you can have volunteers to help make sure you maintain that, but when it comes down to it, that church should already be paid for, right? That
Uh,
church is the pastor's responsibility to ensure that people have a place to go. That's no different than you being a business owner.
you
If you
know what
have a
people
business,
say
it's
though?
your job to take care of that business. But
People
this is
think
a church.
that people think that a church is the building. That's the problem. But see, bro,
Yeah.
that's the problem. The church, a church. You go back to all the old days. Church in the old days, land term, didn't mean a building. It meant a gathering of people. It doesn't matter where it happened at. Most times back then, it happened outside. That was their church. They gathered it outside. They had a good time. You see what I'm saying? People get the whole term church itself twisted. I mean, the whole history on the church is twisted on this end. Preachers, they get the Bible and they twist it. Half the time they don't understand the fucking Bible themselves. So people got their own interpretations on all these things about church and the Bible, about Jesus himself, all this and that. This is why people don't know who God is. People don't know what God is. Because everything is twisted, especially for us as blacks. It's that because we were taught from the Bible that actually meant to be used for slavery. So you look at black people today that's stuck in this slave mind state. I feel so bad for them because a lot of these black people swarping down. They know what God is, who God is, and how if you don't do this way, you're gonna be punished. How you gonna do this way, this gonna happen, and how they don't even know who the fucking devil is. And one thing I used to love hitting people in the head with is I like if we really know who God and the devil is, then like okay, there's one book Bible I love to bring up. It's the book of Job, and it talks about how the guy and the devil made a deal that he allowed the devil, he allowed Satan. I don't call him devil. I'll call him Satan. He allowed Satan or Lucifer to go back to Earth and do all these horrible things to Job. He told him you can't kill Job. Now keep in mind this whole story. The devil whole thing was to try to tempt this particular God. I say this certain way because this particular God thought about the devil sin was like, you know what, he might be right about Job. And the deal they made was that he's like, I bet you that if we do enough damage to Job, that Job will curse you, right? And ultimately, at the end of the thing, devil, the Satan was correct. Job eventually got pissed off. Was like, he cursed this particular guy. That particular guy got upset and went to Job and explained to Job like who he was, how he controlled all this and this that before eventually giving him all everything back that had happened. I bring out took the book up because I was like, you truly know who God is. You know of a God. But the true God, the true universal God, won't never ever even been tempted like that to begin with. You see what I'm saying? So I love bringing up the Bible, and it throws a lot of people off. They be like, well, maybe he did that because no. You are misinterpreting everything that you're reading. Pastors are misinterpreting all that. Another book of the Bible, they tell you that like ghosts ain't really real, all this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Demons, but yeah, you got the book of Solomon that's in the Bible. And he was all about demons and controlling demons and working with demons, do his bidding, all this and that. You got certain books of Bible that they don't even preach from because of these type of situations. You got the Quran, who talks about the jinn. But yet a lot of these pastors tell you that jinnies and jinns ain't real, this and that. And why the fuck the Quran talks about a whole section talk about jinn and this group of race of people, these genies and these jinns, all this and that. But nobody wants to discuss none of this type of stuff. Why is this stuff being left into these books that you yourself supposed to know about, yourself supposed to read? You know what I'm saying? And people are like, well, how can you speak on it? Man, I tell me one time, let me tell you something about me. I never speak on anything that I haven't read about. I read the Quran twice, the Torah twice. I read all the Jehovah's Witnesses twice, King James Version twice. I read almost every version of the Bible I could find, except the ones like I could find the Nigerian Bible. I really want to find a Nigerian Bible. I really wish I had access to that. I want to find there are a couple of Bibles I have that I've been constantly looking. I'm pretty sure even on the black market, it's hard to find certain of these things. But I read the Gnostic Gospel that they found twice. I read the Emeralds of Thought twice. I read everything that I can speak on at least twice. That's why I challenge any preacher out there. Anybody who's in tune with the so-called spiritual aspects of life, the church aspects of life. I challenge anybody watching this video, can they know anything about that? I want to say challenge. Just come in here and let's talk about it. Let's talk about your Bible. I want to talk about your Bible. Whatever you're good at talking about. If you're a pastor on the King James Version, come talk to me on my show. Come talk to me. Let's talk about your Bible. You're a Muslim. You read a Torah. back not the Torah, you read the Quran back and forth. Let's talk about it. If you're Jewish, you read the Torah. Let's talk about it. Come on my show and let's talk about these things. Let's get these things solidified in truth. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Well, let the church say amen.
Amen.
He said, you think this is a game? He
This
said,
is what I deal with on a daily basis.
uh-huh.
I gotta be reading up on stuff too, because he started talking about stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, give me a second. Let me go find it real quick. But it's always a lesson to be learned. You know, there's always time to understand and to gain knowledge in anything. And for people to act ignorant on certain situations is not an excuse anymore, because you have all that information at the palm of your hand. If you got a phone, and I'm not saying Google everything, because Google ain't gonna have all the real answers.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a phone and you can access stuff on your phone, and you got the internet on your phone, there's no reason that you should be ignorant to anything. There's no reason why people should talk about things they don't know nothing about when you have access to real information. And I don't like talking to people who be like, because if you Google, get the fuck out the Google. Sometimes you might have to take your ass to the library. Every fucking state, every city got the library as well.
Here's the thing about Google.
Google don't have everything, and anything that's on Google has been written by men, and it's not all facts. Some is opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not fact. There's a lot of garbage on there that I was just like, okay, so it's only swing. It's swing. Okay, so let's go take it even further. You start talking about transgender and all this other stuff. If you look up what that is all about, it swings in that direction.
Yeah.
Like when we start talking about what a male and a female is, then you'll know. You're like, well, wait a minute now, right now.
That's what we were talking about before.
What we was talking about.
That's the problem. I'm not against. Yeah. I'm not against you homosexual. I'm not against none of that. I'm all for that. But don't tell me that if you were born a male, then you go get all this man-made surgery done. Then want to tell me that you're a woman? I'm not gonna. No, in my eyes, you always will be a male.
Because what do you have to do? Well, and I've seen people do this that are telling the truth, right? Hey, I'm a transgender. I changed my sex from. I did the transformation. I changed from male to female. Okay, so at least you said something about it, and you're not going to the extent of pushing it to a point where I have to address you a certain way. Now,
a lot of them would
I'm gonna call you by your name, and that's about it. Yeah. Okay, we're not doing all this extra other stuff. But what I'm saying is that it's not meant to disrespect anyone. You are what you are, and in essence, biologically, a man can have a baby, and biologically, a woman can have a baby. Now, depending on the circumstance with her health, there you go. But even you modifying yourself, the only way that a person can have a baby is they biologically have to have the uterus.
Facts.
Period. Facts. And it's disrespectful for people to continue to go down this. Let's gaslight these people. That's gaslighting. And I ain't going for your gaslight. Matter of fact, since you want to gaslight, let me put a mask over your face so that you can understand something here. Okay? Now, the CO2 might catch you, but I'm just saying, since you gaslighting, I'll go ahead and give you something to gaslight about, whether life is real or not. Because now I can go that direction. Well, are you dead or are you alive?
I agree.
I'm dead. I'm dead. Oh, since you dead, then we might as well just go ahead and knock you off then. Oh, no, don't do that. Like, really?
Let's be real. They're entitled to someone. It's like, it's like, man, look, there's so many minorities have been through so much bullshit. That you think you're entitled to something? Like, come on, man. Like, I'm like, if you want to be
But I think
by being you, meaning that you want to be, say, I don't see this wrong way, piss off.
so.
Let me
So
put it this way.
So what do you say to people who accept them?
I accept it.
And, well, no, I'm saying, well, we obviously we don't have an issue with it, but we always talk about entitlement.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would say the only reason why we feel like they have we have an issue with them being entitled because of their transgender role is because of what we went through and what we're still going through to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Because people can argue, oh, you guys are just saying that because you are, Black people call us African Americans,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all still living a hard life. Where the ones that are white Americans who got a transgender change are being praised
and magazine covers,
and put it on magazine covers,
as woman
and then
here
we still are. So they can always say that we are just jealous of them because of where they are in the world compared to where we are in the world.
Let me put this in perspective, and I get. See, I get
because
this.
That's what I always get when it comes to that. Oh, you guys are just mad because where we are on the totem pole, and then where y'all are.
I mean, the reality of the circumstances are there is no totem pole. We all are on the same planet. We all on the same rock. And guess what? If something out from outer space was to hit this motherfucker, we all dead.
Yeah.
Period. And ain't nobody gonna give a damn whether you black, white, Chinese, transgender, whatever you want to call it. We are all dead. Yeah. And no matter what somebody's title is,
they're not judging it.
Like
they're not judging it by that. They're judging it by our government.
Yeah, but they not even the power that they believe they have. Like, yeah, you can see. Here's the deal. If I said, "Hey, I want you to go kill this person," but I got to use an agency to do that, who's the coward? The person that sent them, because you can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it don't matter the title that you hold. You are just as much of a coward. You hide behind somebody else. Yeah. But the thing is, it don't matter what position. The people that believe they're elites, they can be killed just like anybody else.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So their titles, I want you to call me. No, I ain't got to do none of that. You can be killed just like anybody else. Your addresses, they think they're safe. Their addresses are on the black internet. They're on the dark web.
Yeah.
People can go to their houses if they wanted to. They can go to their vacation homes if they wanted to.
Yeah.
So, as much as they lie, cheat, steal, deceive, commit genocide, guess what? At the end of the day, it still doesn't matter what your title is. Because you can get got just like anybody else. Just the reality of it is, nobody cares whether you're transgender. Nobody cares if you work in the House, the Senate. Nobody cares. At the end of the day, we all the same people. We bleed the same. If the O2 was to get cut off, guess what? We ain't breathing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fact.
Cheers to that.
Look, at the end of the day, nobody has the power to tell me that you're going to call me this. Because at the end of the day, I can only control me. And that's what I'm worried about.
Person get rosy cheeks.
Huh?
I said, have you ever seen a black person get rosy cheeks?
Yeah, I have. By getting punched in them. Pow!
Besides, what the hell up besides that?
He said, look, you said it.
We changed subject 3 different times. Supposed to stay on one subject.
We can't ever stay on the same damn subject.
No, but what I'm saying is that it really doesn't matter the title that you have. When it's all said and done, we still all breathe the same. We still have to go to the restroom the same. We still got to eat.
everybody don't understand that though. That concept. Nobody. That's the problem. And if people would look more into it and understand exactly where they came from and where it started, like they would know that we are all related, regardless of what they think, regardless of white people thinking black people from Africa and they ain't got nothing to do with Africa.
Africa don't even want. See, that's the thing. Africa, look, people talk about slavery, right? Africa gave people away. They literally the kings of Africa were giving their people away to slavery.
Yeah, they were.
But
That's how it happened. It was a trade. It was a trade.
Europe had slaves. They had white slaves.
Exactly.
South Africa had white slaves. Nobody talks about that though. The first
slavery was going on way before the African slave trade started.
the first slave owner was, and I just said the first slave owner. The very first slave owner was a black man.
Yes.
And that should tell you something. So if people want to still go down this road of
they don't want to discuss that though.
No.
That they know a lot of things and nobody really, and then the ones that do know are acting ignorant to the fact that they do know.
So the reality of the thing is, like, when I hear we talk about
hell yeah.
When we talk about racism, this is going back to the transgender thing and how that comparison. And to me, no, it's not similar. And it's not that we're on the bottom of the totem pole. It's that they want to be socially accepted by the entire world as such. You're already accepted as a human being. I don't give a shit who you want to be. That is you.
It should just be the human being race. Like
yes.
It shouldn't be black. It shouldn't be white. It shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be any of that. But that's the way people see it. But when I think of this,
race. Some of us have a little bit more melanin than the other.
If you want to be a zebra, go ahead, be a fucking zebra. But guess what? If the lion come running after your ass, don't fucking sit here and yell and scream, "Oh, I'm about to get ate." Well, guess what? You wanted to be the fucking zebra, didn't you? Right? You wanted to be the zebra, and now that motherfucker's coming after you.
I cannot stand him.
I'm just saying.
You're right, though. You're right.
You want to be the fucking zebra? Look, if we were to turn the tables and said, okay, see, this is going to go down a rabbit hole. So if we were to change the channel a little bit and say, okay, I saw this on the other day. They were talking about males being, the transgender being in women's sports. And I said this, okay, I get that. I get that you don't want that, but we've been talking about equality for a long time, right? Equality means you get what you get. It's the same no matter whether it's a man or a woman. So if you want to play a man's sport, you should be able to play against a man. That's equality.
Yeah.
Well, if it's a transgender, and I'm not saying I agree that transgender should be playing against women, but what I am saying is this is what equality means. Right.
Right.
So now you want to bitch about this transgender that is playing the same sport that you're in. That's what we're talking about. Equality, though.
Equality.
No. The problem is that equality is met with, oh wait, conditions. Well, wait a minute now. You got a transgender over here that wants to be in a female sport.
Yeah.
So you want it both ways. You can't have it both ways. What you meant to say is we want equity. So if that transgender wants to be in a sport, okay, well, what did you transform from? Yeah. Okay, so there you go. You will play in the men's sports then.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if you're a woman and you transform to a man, well, guess what? If you want to be in the man's sport, well, you were originally a woman, so guess what? You're going to be in the woman's sport.
Yeah.
Unless you make it straight transgender, this is what you're going to do. We have transgender sports. But then it's going to go right back to, well, why do we have to? Well, can disabled people play in the same sports as everybody else that's not disabled? No, they don't. That's what the Special Olympics are for.
Mm-hmm.
That is created so that there's equality there for them.
Quality. Yeah.
That is created so there's equity there for them. So that's the solution, right? Instead of it being a problem, the solution is, okay, well, we can just create your own sport. We can create a sport where you all can compete against each other. Now it's not a problem.
That's spot on. That is spot on.
But we keep talking about equality. Well, this is equality now. Regardless of whether that person's a man or a woman. Well, we've been talking about equality. Well, now we have it. A man is playing in a woman's sport.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't think about how we got the Special Olympics for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just all about, oh, well, now she identifies or he identifies as the opposite sex. And it's like, y'all not getting it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We've been talking about it, but it has gotten to a point where the communication or the articulation of what that word means, right? Equality means just that. You are my equal. So if there was a 600-pound crate of water and you go get a jack and you put that jack in that pallet to start pulling that water, well, you should be just as strong as me. And we all know that's BS.
Mm-hmm.
There's most men that can't lift what I lift.
Mm-hmm.
For crying out loud, if you ask anybody at the gym, I'm the only person that's curling 85-pound dumbbells in each arm. Now, one person I ain't seen do that. But I took time to do that. Now, let me have a woman do it. You gonna do it? You gonna fuck around and break your shoulder? There's a huge difference there. Mm-hmm. What I mean is that is not equality. That's equality making a woman do that. But we know genetically it's damn near impossible unless you are lifting every single day. I'm not saying that a woman can't do it, but the majority of women aren't going to be able to put you in a contest with me. Who's winning?
Of course you. Yeah, put you in there with the bodybuilder women. That's equality.
even then, right? Like, mm-hmm. there's some women that probably can outlift me on the bench.
Mm-hmm. But it's far and few in between.
Very far and few between. Yeah. Like, my leg press ain't even. My warm up on a leg press is 655, and I do that 5 sets of 10.
Yeah, most men can do that.
Oh, that's a warm up. Okay, that's a warm up. Now, try me in the ring. Let's see who's equal there. I'm just saying.
No, and ain't a day like you said. They need to break that word down. It
needs to be.
There has to be boundaries.
It has to be boundaries, but it also has to be. We clearly understand, like, equality is not the word that we need to be using. It's equity, right? Because again, if you put me in, equality means that, okay, she can beat me up too. So we're going to compete in the same boxing sport. I love boxing, right? So let's go ahead. Put a girl my same weight. Matter of fact, give me a girl that's even heavier than me, and let's see if she can outperform.
Juwan, your nephew said
you work for that.
Your nephew said 655 for a warm up. How? That's from Jeremiah.
What you mean? How? That's just what. I'll send y'all a picture so you can see it.
Hey, tell that just what it is, right?
Hey, that's just. Hey, sometimes I amaze myself. I was like, I did it the other day. I was like, and that still felt light to me. Like, that was light.
You worked for that though, right? Like you.
Yeah, of course. You got to put in the work. You can't just do it. You got to put in the work. Like, I went to go push somebody the other day. They weighed 215 pounds. It felt like he was 55 pounds when I pushed him. The force of me pushing him, it almost felt like I pushed his chest in.
Jeremiah said that should be a felony. You a walking weapon.
Hey, the whole point is that nobody gets any bright ideas. I do that. I do this intentionally. I do it intentionally.
I'm gonna tell you what I know. I'm gonna tell you what I know.
Tell you what I know. You know, the thing is that I see all kind of stuff every day, right? And the purpose of that is so that you don't get a bright idea to, okay, if you want to grab a gun, guess what? I'm well trained. I'm highly trained in a way that, hey, I might be a little quicker than you, but I always know that in my head. There's always going to be somebody that thinks they're better, stronger, faster, and you have to be just that. In my mind, every time I go to the gym, I always think, it doesn't matter if you just started on your first day. I look at you like, man, I wish I was as good as him. And I work as hard as I can to push even better. That's my motivation, right? I want to make sure when I train, not just in the gym, when I'm training and doing other stuff, I want to make sure that I'm thinking like, okay, man, this dude has the ability to knock me off just like that. I want to be better. And that's the way everybody should be. You should want to be better every single day. Whether it be in communication, whether it be your ability to set a schedule for yourself. You were talking about it earlier, getting up to get a job, right? Every single day, you need to make sure that you put yourself in a position where people can come to you and start asking you questions so that they can line themselves up and align themselves in the right way so that they don't have problems, down the road. We all know, again, corporate America isn't about its people right now. And that's just the way it is. But what you can do is put yourself in a position to be a better human being so that when the time comes so that you can run your own business, you can show these corporations how to run a business because you're the better person, right? That means you got to have your health on point. That means you got to make sure that you are on point because a leader's got to do 10 things at a time versus one thing at a time, right? And I mean, you got to be able to make sure that you're paying your people. You got to make sure the business lights are on. You got to make sure that they got their benefits. You got to make sure that they're coming to work and able to perform their duties at a high level. And then you got to make sure they're mentally stable coming to work so that they're able to work at a high level.
That's why I loved my job. It was hard for me to quit. Because I know I left a lot of people who was dependent on me. But I knew if my mentality wasn't together and how it should have been, I can't continue to give out and not give anything in.
Well, that's the other thing. Like you can't at least you're self-aware to know that and understand that. But my question would be, hey, why does Alexis want to leave? And we should talk to her about that so that we can come up with a plan. See, most businesses aren't coming up with an action plan to put you in a space where you want to grow. So I would say, hey, Alexis, I know you talked to us about leaving. I want to know why. Why do you want to leave? Okay, so you tell me what that reason is. Okay, so Alexis, we don't want you to leave. So how about we work on a plan so that you can grow in the areas that you need to grow in? We'll follow up each week, right, with that plan. And then maybe it's once a week, right? And then how about every 3 months we come back and we check on this plan to make sure that everything we talked about is worked on, right? Everything that we said we were going to do, it's done. Now you've developed this plan. You got a path. Now you get done with that plan. Now you start looking at, okay, what were the opportunities in this plan that I had? Maybe you were stacked. Maybe maybe you weren't as efficient or effective as you needed to be with that plan because you were procrastinating a little bit, or you had something happen on the outside. Okay, so what's one thing that you can do to uh, help prevent that, right? Okay, there's part of that action plan. I'm gonna work on that. And while I'm working on that, I'm gonna continue to maintain the things I've already worked on. Now I get into a,
That's all I wanted.
but that's what I'm saying. That now it comes back to saying, okay, I'm glad that you did that. And now that you're here, now that we're in this space where you've taken care of the things that we talked about from an action plan, what are some other things that you would really like to do or focus on so that you can get to that next role that you would like to be in? And by the way, Alexis, what role would you like to be in next? Now you're going to tell me, okay, so we know these are the things we talked about. Here's where you were, here's where you are now, right? So what do you think is gonna what are some actionable items that we can take to really get you to this next position? What are some things that we can do now? Right? Then you start action planning that out. Now you have an action plan to say, okay, so this is what the leadership, this is some of the requirements for that leadership role or for this next leadership role. Okay, so I'm gonna start working on some little things that I can do. And once I'm doing these things, I would really like some of your feedback and perspective of how well am I doing with those actionable items. Now, let's say you start doing really well, because now your involvement is going to be different, right? You might be leading or facilitating meetings that would normally be done by a senior, uh, leader. Okay, so now we've got Alexis doing it. Now that Alexis is doing that, we start getting into a flow of her consistently doing it. Maybe it's content creating. Maybe it's really help facilitating the growth and development of the business. Maybe it's uh, really putting your insight to how, developing a process management to where you're changing things on how things are done. That there starts getting you motivated. Like, okay, now I feel like I'm really doing something. I'm moving in the direction that I need to move in. And while you're doing that, guess what? You're developing somebody else to move into that position that you're probably going to be moving out of. Right. And that's what it takes. That really takes that motivation, right? To say, all right, now, because we've done this, because I've done it now, I know what it now takes to not just focus on myself, but I'm focused on multiple people to help them grow. And now you've got 3 or 4 or 5 people that are in these roles that you've helped elevate while you've elevated yourself to that next level. It gives you a story to tell in your interview. Why are you applying for this role? Well, I'm applying for this role because, the situation was this, right? My task was to complete X, Y, and Z. And here's what I did. Here's what I accomplished in that. And here's the result of this.
Mm-hmm.
By doing all these things. And now what we have is we have 4 or 5 leaders that are in those spaces that we needed, right? And by doing that, we created some high-profile teams, successful teams, or successful employees that are in those roles now. And I'm consistently checking on them. But the result of it is we're meeting our goals and agendas, our goals and objectives to meet the agenda that we set previous, maybe Q2 or Q3. Okay, great. That's awesome. I'm glad that you said that. So what are some things that you can do in this role that you would like to promote into? Well, as I stated, here's my main objective with these employees, but here's what I really see as a challenge for our business right now. Now you start talking about those challenges, right, that you've seen as you're, working with these other employees. Now they're like, wow, we didn't even see that, right? We didn't see that. Well, I mean, not everybody's paying attention to the same thing. That doesn't mean that your eye wasn't visible to it, but this is one of the things that I really found that would help really drive our business in a direction of, reaching our objectives, right? And really, we talk about profit, loss, whatever that may be. Here's how this is going to help maneuver that. Now, that sounds great, doesn't it? Lexus feels like you're probably going to be able to put yourself in a space now where you can interview well because you're using that experience based on the action plans that was created between you and your leader. People aren't doing that anymore. That's the problem. And it doesn't matter whether it's McDonald's, it doesn't matter whether it's Chick-fil-A, it doesn't matter if it's, Best Buy. Everyone needs an action plan. Every employee needs something to be coached on so that they can develop and get into a role they clearly understand by utilizing the experience that has been set before them. Once that happens, only then they can say, you know what, Alexis has built herself up in a space where she has progressed. Where Dontel has built himself up in a space where he's progressed, and we didn't see that coming. But I'm glad we created that action plan because you followed it well. So
I'm going to cut you off, but today was a great day. We get on the 2 hours. I can't go over the 2 hour limit right now on my screen. We definitely had more conversations today. Thank you again for being here, of course. We had some people. We thought we had more people than just you, but of course it didn't happen. But it is what it is.
He always show up and show out.
Exactly.
And for the people that didn't show up and show out, I got some words for y'all.
Hey, where's Jeremiah at? He still on?
He might be gone now.
No, I think he's still on there because it's showing.
That could be anybody.
Hey, tell him don't try that 655. Don't try it.
Hey, he knows better.
Hey, let me tell you, my cheeks are still hurting from that. I did that just on Thursday too, and I was like, man, come on, man, this is light work, and I wasn't about to add more weight because I knew, day 2, 3, they always are the worst. So my butt is on. Man, I'm gonna tell you, shoot, I felt like I got hit by a truck.
Yeah, he's still on here. He did a whole bunch of laughing emojis.
Oh, well, just tell him your kneecaps got to be strong too, because once that leg press come back, you better hope you can push it back.
Yeah, you can't push that back.
You in trouble. You in trouble. You better ask for Jesus.
Once again, like I said, everybody, those who did tune in, I appreciate it. Those who didn't, I'm gonna post the links over my YouTube channel, on our YouTube channel. Be over there on the Cool Content YouTube channel to be there all week. You can go and watch the rerun anytime you want.
Oh yeah.
Next week, another great conversation. We'll be back. We'll be here.
I will be money.
Thank everybody. You know what this is. Y'all know what this is. Every Sunday, 9 p.m. Central Time.
Tell Alexis that it's not okay to fart on these podcasts. You just
we can't have that. I can't.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Always booty and Hennessy. Booty and Hennessy. Don't mix the two. Don't.